Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. It's Miguel again to teach you a wonderful meditation. This is one of my favorite practice. It's a meditation to infuse the mind with light and peace. So, what we are going to do today, it's a pranayam work that will lead into a meditation. So, having said this, we're going to begin finding our seat. Get comfortable, and I always suggest that there is a block or something that elevates your hips so your back could be at rest. And if sitting in the floor doesn't work for you, do not hesitate always on sitting up on a chair, as long as your spine stays tall, feet separated, hip distance apart. So please close your eyes and just acknowledge your breath. And take a moment just to refine any imbalances that prevent your breath from flowing even and effortlessly. Today we will use the power of the breath to connect with a more subtle force, the light force that ignites the breath. So for the next 2 to 3 minutes, I want you to direct your attention to the nostril area. Just bring your attention where the breath begins or where you perceive the breath beginning. And in this place, we're going to connect with the sensation of the breath. The breath, as it moves in, has a cooling effect. And the breath, as it moves out, leaves the body with a warm sensation. So just keep going with this simple practice for about 2 more minutes. And please remember that meditation is not a process of the absence of thinking, but we are using the mind's innate capacity to stay one-pointed, to focus, so the mind can perceive something greater than the mind. Please continue. Your attention is at the base of the nostrils where you perceive the breath moving in and out. Feeling warm as it leaves the body and feeling a cooling effect as it moves in. Observe how the mind begins to quiet. The more you relax and you become the observer of the breath, the more that you allow yourself to be. For the next stage of our practice, we'll transition into alternate nostril breathing. For this, I'm going to bring the first 2 fingers of my right hand to meet the mount of my hand. I'm going to block my right nostril with the right thumb, and I'm going to place my ring finger in the left nostril. With your next inhale, you breathe in through the left. Top of your inhale, you block left and you exhale right. You inhale through the right nostril. You block right and you exhale out of the left. Please don't rush, that it's one round. Inhale through the left. Block left, exhale out of the right. Inhale through the right. Block right, exhale out of the left. That's 2 rounds. Please continue on your own for another 3 to 4 minutes. As we breathe in, we observe the breath ascending from the nostril area to the center of the forehead. And as we breathe out, we observe the breath descend from the center of the forehead to the nostril area. The breath is completely unbroken. And your mind is attentive to this movement. Please continue. Alternate nostril breathing, aware of the movement of the breath from the nostril area to the center of the forehead. This pranayam helps us to connect with the subtle force of the breath, clearing our energy channels, allowing ourselves to experience a state of union with the principal channel of the human body, Sushumna Nadi. Just a few more rounds. Observing the breath ascend and descend from the nostrils to the center of the forehead, from the center of the forehead to the nostrils. The next time you finish your exhalation through the right nostril, you'll stop the practice and you'll begin to observe the breath through both nostrils even. Allow the breath to adjust. Allow the breath to come back to an effortless flow. And now begin to observe that the breath ascends and descends in the same way we did in the pranayam practice. But now we perceive these two independent streams of air merging in the center of the forehead. As I inhale, my breath begins its journey in the nostril area through both channels, meeting as one in the center of the forehead. And begin to see that there is more than just airflow. Every time that your breath meets at the center of the forehead, we begin to awaken this sense of inner luminosity. And your breath is not longer just air movement, but we are observing light ascending through your nostrils, meeting in the center of the forehead. This form of light is subtle. It is just available when the mind gets completely quiet. And the more that your breath meets that spot, the more that we charge or feel the center of the forehead accumulating that presence, that intelligence called prana. For the next stage, the next time that your inhalation meets the center of the forehead, you will rest in there. No more movement of the breath, no more aware of the breath movement, just aware of light. Just rest in a sense of inner luminosity at the third eye center, middle brain. Now begin to see that your head, or the four walls of the head that surround the center of the brain, are completely transparent. And you feel or see light pouring into your brain, charging even more the third eye center. This light allows you to perceive yourself as a luminous being. Light pouring into your brain. Transforming your capacity to see clearly. Gradually, you begin to come back by deepening your breath. Take a couple of breaths to feel yourself returning to the space you occupy, recognizing or acknowledge the light of your being. When you are ready, bring the hands to rub to create a little bit of heat. You're going to place this warmth on top of your eyes. And slowly, as you open the eyes, you bring your attention from the inner world to the outer world. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have an excellent day.